Hello, I'm Rhonda, and welcome back to my channel. You've just arrived at a story that doesn't ask you to think harder, only to feel deeper. A story for the part of you that's been carrying too much for too long. Releasing trauma, a somatic journey through the body, isn't just a tale. It's a soft invitation to come back home to yourself, to take a breath, to the places within that are never broken, only waiting. So, if you're ready to let your body be heard, to let your nervous system soften, and to let something old begin to gently unwind, then settle in, take a breath, and allow the journey to begin. And as you do, go ahead and subscribe to this channel now, so these healing stories can keep finding their way back to you, right when you need them most. Releasing trauma, a somatic journey through the body. Her name was Tammy, and though most would never have guessed it from the way she moved, graceful, deliberate, always so quietly present, Tammy carried something inside her. Something old, something heavy. She had lived most of her life with it folded deep within her muscles. Not pain exactly. No, it was more subtle than that. Like a humming, an ache that didn't speak in words, but in tension. In the tightness in her jaw when she smiled too long, in the way her shoulders always hovered, never quite relaxing. Even when she slept. She didn't remember the exact moment the trauma took root. There wasn't a single event to point to. It had gathered slowly, like silt in a river bend. Moments of fear, of helplessness, of silence when she wanted to scream. Little things, maybe, but over time, they had shaped her body like water-shaped stones. And her body remembered. Even when her mind moved on, the body held on. It always does. But Tammy, she was ready now. Not to forget, but to release, to remember through her body, and then let go. And that journey began, as all scars often do, with a return to stillness. One crisp evening, as the sun dipped into the violet horizon, Tammy walked down a quiet path behind her cottage. The air smelled of pine and something sweet, wild lavender perhaps, or the last summer of rain evaporating from warm stones. She followed the path to the stream. It wasn't grand or deep. It wasn't meant to be, but it knew how to flow. And Tammy, without quite realizing why, felt that flow calling to her. She stepped out of her shoes and let her feet press into the soft earth at the stream's edge. The ground was cool, damp, alive. She closed her eyes, let out a breath, and listened. To the birds overhead, to the rustle of the trees, to the sound of water brushing against the stone. And deeper still, she listened to her body. There it was again, that old tightness in her chest, that pinch in her hip, that dull ache at the base of her neck that always seemed to whisper, "Not yet, not safe, not allowed." But here, now, Tammy asked her body the question she'd never dared ask. What are you still holding? At first, there was only silence. Then, a memory surfaced. A hallway, bright lights, a voice that rose too quickly, and the frozen feeling in her limbs. Like her body had turned to stone, like her soul had left the room just to survive it. Tears welled without command, spilling freely down her cheeks. She didn't try to stop them. She knew now, trauma doesn't need to be explained. It only needs to be witnessed. So she stood there in the stream's hush, breathing gently, letting every sensation come. Her heart beat fast. Her legs trembled slightly. But something else stirred beneath it all, like a warm rising from the earth. And then, almost without thinking, she stepped into the water. It was cold, at first a shock. But she didn't retreat. Instead, she knelt, let the water surround her knees, then her hands, then her whole body, leaning forward until her forehead touched the surface like a prayer. And she whispered, not out loud, but in the language only the body hears. You're safe now. You don't have to carry this anymore. And the water listened. In her mind, the stream became something more. She saw it as a river within her, flowing beneath the skin, beneath the bones, through every cell that had once tensed in fear and braced against shame. She imagined that river washing through her lungs, through her spine, through her heart, cleansing, soothing, softening the places that had hardened to survive. Each breath became a tide. Inhale, release. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, I remember. Exhale, I let go. Time slowed. And the body, this sacred, patient body, began to unfold. Layer by layer, like petals remembering sunlight after a long winter. Her arms moved gently in the water, not with effort, but with rhythm. Her breath deepened. Her jaw loosened. Even the small of her back, so often clenched, began to soften. Something deep unlocked, not all at once, not perfectly, but enough. Enough to fill space where there had once been contraction. Enough to feel possibility where there had once been numbness. The moon had risen now, casting a silver light across the stream. Tammy stood, and for the first time in years, she didn't feel like she was holding on to anything. Not in her back, not in her belly, not in her bones. She felt empty in the best way, like a house after a storm had passed. Quiet, unburdened, ready to be filled with something new. That night, Tammy slept with her windows open. And in her dream, she saw the river again, only this time it flowed through a garden inside her chest. And with every breath she took, a flower opened. Soft, unhurried, unashamed. And somewhere deep in the soil of that dream, she heard a voice, her own voice, clear and calm and whole, saying, "The body always remembers, but now it remembers peace." Hypnotic Induction, the river within. Before we begin, find a position that supports you fully. Let your spine lengthen naturally. Let your shoulders settle. Let your breath soften. And if you're ready now, you can let your eyes close gently, or simply soften your gaze, because tonight is about listening to what's beneath the surface, not rushing, not fixing, but allowing your body to speak, allowing yourself to hear, and allowing release. Now begin by bringing your awareness back to the base of your spine. That quiet place where your body meets the ground. Feel the weight of you, the realness of you. And as you do, imagine a gentle river flowing just beneath the skin, slow, safe, patient. This river doesn't demand. It doesn't judge. It only flows. And with every breath you take, this river begins to awaken. Inhale. The river rises. Exhale. The river softens. Let it flow into your hips, your thighs, your knees, and notice, where is there tightness? Where is there holding? Don't try to change it, just notice. Because when the body feels seen, it begins to soften on its own. Now bring your attention to your belly. This is where old fear likes to live. A quiet tightening, a bracing for what never came. And imagine the river gently circling that space, like a warm hand, like a lullaby. You might even begin to whisper inwardly, "You're safe now. You don't have to carry this anymore. I'm listening." With every breath, let that river move a little higher, through your chest, the shoulders, the throat. Notice how every breath feels here. Are you holding it? Is it shallow or deep? Let the river meet it, not to push, not to force, but to melt. Melt the barriers, melt the walls, melt the silence that wrapped around what you couldn't say. And maybe now you whisper again, "It's okay to let go. It's okay to rest. It's okay to heal. Now, bring your awareness to your heart. This beautiful, steady drum that kept going through it all. Every heartbreak, every ache, every moment you felt alone and stayed away. Imagine the river washing through your heart now, clearing old grief, washing away heaviness, creating space for stillness, space for softness, space for you. Let your heart feel held. Let your breath be your permission. And let every exhale be a release. And as the river flows through your neck, through your jaw, through your face, feel the tension draining away, like a fog lifting, like a winter thaw. The river knows how to carry what no longer belongs. It knows how to flow without force. And you are remembering how to let go. In a moment, I'll invite you to return. But for now, stay with the river. Let it move through you. Let it be you. Let your body rewrite the story, not with words, but with sensations. Because you are not broken, you are unfreezing. You are not damaged. You are remembering. You are not weak. You are releasing. And when you're ready to return, you can begin to wiggle your fingers. Feel the air on your skin. And open your eyes, bringing with you the softness, the space, and the knowing that healing has already begun. So here are the key meanings to the story. Number 1, trauma is stored in the body. Trauma isn't just emotional. It imprints itself on the nervous system, muscles, breath patterns, and posture. Tammy's chronic tension, shallow breath, and subconscious holding patterns reflect how unresolved pain becomes somatic memory. The story affirms that what the mind forgets, the body remembers. Meaning, healing must include the body, not just talking, but feeling. Number 2, the body is always trying to protect you. Tammy's tight jaw, raised shoulders, and constant alertness weren't signs of weaknesses. They were signs of protection. These physiological responses began as adaptive strategies to keep her safe, even if they later became limiting. Meaning, resistance in the body is not a flaw, it's a message. Number 3, safety enables release. When Tammy steps into the stream, she doesn't force healing. She lets the body unfold slowly, intuitively. This reflects a truth in trauma work. You cannot release what you don't feel safe enough to face. Safety isn't a moment. It's a felt sense. Meaning, trauma releases when the body feels safe, not when the mind says, I'm ready. Number 4, Nature as co-regulator. The stream, the cool earth, the breath of pine. Nature becomes a silent participant in Tammy's healing. She's not healing alone. She's co-regulating with the natural world, which models flow, softness, and the quiet strength. Meaning, the natural world can entrain the nervous system back to calm. Number 5, expression without words. Tammy's healing does not come from retelling her story in detail. Instead, her body remembers through sensation, trembling legs, tears, an urge to kneel. Somatic releases often bypass language entirely, meaning healing happens in sensation, rhythm, and breath, not always in words. Number 6, symbolism of water equals flow, surrender, and cleansing. The river symbolizes the unconscious, fluid, deep, and ancient. As Tammy allows it to flow through her, she surrenders to something older and wiser, an intellect. Water, in the hypnotic metaphor, washes away what no longer serves and makes space for renewal. Meaning, you don't have to push to heal, you can flow through it. And number 7, the body can release peace. At the end of the story, Tammy doesn't release trauma. She replaces it with something new. Softness, safety, wholeness. Trauma had taught her to brace. Healing had taught her to breathe again. Meaning, the body can learn new rhythms, safety, trust, and peace can be embodied. And now, as the water's still, as your breath finds a natural rhythm once again, you may begin to notice something subtle and new. Not the absence of pain, but the presence of peace. A spacious, a quiet, a gentle reminder that healing doesn't come all at once. It comes in waves, in whispers, in moments like this. So, if the story met you where you are, if it stirred something inside your body or soothed a place you didn't have words for, I invite you to let this be the beginning, not the end. Subscribe to this channel now so that stories like this can find their way back to you again and again, right when you need them the most. And if your heart or body is holding something more personal, a story waiting to be witnessed, an ache ready to be unraveled, you can email me directly for a custom, personalized hypnotic story at Rhonda's Hypnotic Stories. That's Rhonda without an H. Because your healing deserves to be heard, and your body deserves to remember peace. Until next time, be well.